Five. Avs get bodied 7-3 by Montreal. I don't really care about the actual scoreline of the game. I care about the effort that the Avs put in, which for most of them wasn't.
What is effort at this point? Like I don't. I can me no comprendo. Like that is where I am at with this game. With the last two.
Yep.
This is 120 minutes of really, really crappy effort hockey.
It's bad. There's no two ways around it. It's bad. What I will say is the easiest thing to fix in hockey, which I think I said last show, but this is the same game. The same thing happened.
We could have run the same thing and it would have been fine.
Unbelievably easy fix. Care a little bit and try. Particularly your best players. And games won't look like this. But the Avs have decided to phone it in, clearly. They're more interested in the break or whatever it is. The Avs don't have interest in putting in the effort necessary to win hockey games. There are some guys that played hard tonight, but top to bottom, your lineup was phoning it in for far too much of this game.
And I think that's something that's at least a little different for me from last game is at least there's some bright spots in the crease. There's something good to be said about the way that Mackenzie Blackwood played last game. Something.
There's nothing good to be said about Scott Wedgwood's game.
Yeah, the try was not there from Scott Wedgwood. He looked about as checked out as everyone. Which, if you're talking about like reasons, like he's got them. He has
a small child in his life.
Like there are reasons for this from Scott Wedgwood. So I can, as much as it sucks, I can give him a little bit of a breather here.
Yep.
But still.
Checked out.
Like if you're talking about a team being checked out top to bottom, like that's absolutely the case.
Yep, it was tough game all the way around. 60-second rundown. Let's do it. You know, the first 4 minutes of this game was a hockey game. The Avs did give up a goal early that wasn't great, but Brock Nelson gets one back, and you thought, all right, weird start, settle into it, it's fine. And then there's nothing else to say about the hockey game from there. The rest of the hockey game, the Avs thought, what if we didn't?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the 60-second rundown. I don't need to describe every goal in detail, though I will get to some of them because there are some particular frustrations that I have on some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, there's no... Games like this are extremely frustrating, annoying, upsetting, whatever you want to call it, in the moment. Unwatchable.
Mm-hmm.
There are fans in Montreal that paid to be at that game and watch the Avs do that. They should get their money back.
These last two are like, if you are not getting paid, if there is no contractual obligation to sit here and watch these games, I'm turning it off.
Yep. Yeah, and if we weren't...
And I don't turn off hockey games.
Right,
like, I'm generally the kind of person, like, I stick through it. I will, bear the weight that, is disappointment from whatever team I am watching to watch the entirety of the hockey game. And I can safely say if I was not, obligated to talk about this game, I'd have been checked out of that after the first period.
If we weren't obligated to do an hour show, this show would be 10 minutes tops.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it just boils down to the Avs didn't put the effort in and got what they deserved because of it.
Yeah.
Again, the good side of that is I don't think this is a problem. I don't think the Avs have suddenly quit on the season and it's over. It's the Olympic break or whatever. The Avs need a rest, whatever. when Marty Necas and Nathan MacKinnon decide to start trying again, the Avs will start winning again. It's really that simple on the base of it.
Yeah, I ultimately like that. That is the big thing.
Yep.
Blocking the Avs right now is Yoda does not exist in this universe. There is no try. Like there is try here.
Yeah, there's a lot of try.
Is right now they are living a do or do not lifestyle.
Yeah, and it's mostly do not.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is like you choose, and they have chosen their side.
They have.
So it's hard to watch and really, really disappointing considering that you know the capabilities of this team. You know
that's what makes it frustrating.
Yeah, like I think I would have been a lot less upset at a game like this. Again, ultimately, you're trying to get to the break. Like that's the plan here. But I would have been a lot less mad at a game like this if there is more try. If there is a little more effort.
If you get beat 7-3 and it's like, well, they were just better than us. Mm-hmm. Fine. Not great, but sports are sports. Sometimes you play bad. Sometimes you lose. If you tried, how much more can you really ask of a team, right? But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a team that, how good they are, you worry about complacency. Because I've watched horrible hockey teams, horrible Colorado Avalanche teams, and you don't feel like this. Those teams go into games knowing they're going to lose, knowing it's not going to be a particularly pretty game.
You're still trying to get the best out of your best players.
And they work hard.
Yeah.
They put the effort in, and, it doesn't come up aces, but at least you can say, well, they're bad. This team is the best team in the NHL. There is no reason a game should ever look like that for this team.
No. What I think really sucks for all of this, too, is you look at this and look at the comfortable lead they have on the season. And this is 4 points down the drain. You have the next best up teams kind of crapping the bed as well.
They sure are.
The Dallas Stars are no longer the second team behind the Avs in the Central. Minnesota has taken that over. And even they're not playing their best hockey recently.
They are not,
That is what sucks for me for this, is you have so many opportunities, and we can have the conversation all day about whether or not these games leading up to the Olympic break matters, but ultimately, games like this, for me anyway, are super important when you look at building that lead. When you've got your other competition behind you, crapping the bed as much as they are, these games, these points might come to matter after the Olympic break. And maybe this is a non-factor. After the Olympic break, we see this team turn back into the team we know they are capable of being. And I'm just kind of shooting crap out of my mouth right now. But
I don't know that it's going to matter in the standings directly necessary, but it matters in the sense of if the Avs won their last two games, they're sitting on 83 points, 13 points ahead of Minnesota. Season's over. You can come back from the break and coast because you've earned it. Instead, you're cashing in those coasting chips now, and you're going to have to come back from the break and play quality hockey and make sure you secure your position at the top of the West or the entire NHL, whatever it ends up being. And you've set yourself up for having to do more work later because you didn't do the work now. The procrastinator special.
Yep.
It's what you got here.
I don't really know what to make of that. And it for the thing for me too, the effort is not just up and down the lineup. You're not getting your best out of your forwards. You're not getting your best out of your best guys. Your defense is kind of crapping the bed, and goaltending is whatever. Also bad. You're not getting good play anywhere. Your 5-on-5 sucks.
Yep.
You finally get an opportunity at the power play after 60 minutes of not getting handed one. A bunch of missed calls and no calls, and it looks like crap. It looks horrible.
This is where I take a hard left because I'm not particularly worried about the lack of effort from the Avs players. I understand they'll turn it back on when they feel like it, and they will feel like it in the playoffs and if you get into a proper race. What has not been working for the entire season is the power play. And you're now seeing your penalty kill come back down to earth and is giving up goals at times. So your power play issues are even more amplified because your penalty kill isn't the literal best in the league. And there are levels to this, right? Mm-hmm. There's a bad power play that doesn't score very often, and that's not good enough. And then you've given up the most shorthanded goals in the league. You have scored 27 power play goals this year. You've given up 9 shorties.
Most in the league, by the way.
So really, your net power play is plus 18. You're talking about a power play flirting with a 10% net rating. And you're out of time. The road has ended. You're past the road end sign. You're running into the dirt off the runway at this point. You've tried, oh, well, we're going to try to change how it looks. Oh, well, we're going to try some different personnel. Oh, well, they're going to practice it more because Landeskog's leading the practice now. Oh, we had a team therapy session about options to try. You have to do something real. All of that is fake, hoping it figures itself out. The time has come to do something. I have 3 options that realistically you have to take. 1, fire your power play coach. 2, bench your top unit for at least a game. 3, go out and get a power play specialist that you plop on it and fixes it.
That number 1 option there for me is the biggest point for me, I believe. Because as much as I sit and look at what Hackstall has done for this team, you talk to players like a Parker Kelly, you talk to players like a Taylor McCarr and guys coming up, and you see how much impact he has on their game offensively. It is talked about very widely throughout that room, how much of an impact a Dave Hackstall has on the offensive part of a lot of these players' games. Yeah. Great. Cool. Is that what you were hired to do?
Right.
This is the thing I am most mad about. And I kind of hashed it all out during the watch along and saying, like, when I watch this power play now, I'm just numb. Yeah. I'm sitting here being dramatic now because I have the opportunity to be, but I'm just numb watching this thing. I am more mad about again, going back to the effort. They're not giving any effort during the game, but where is the effort to change this off of the ice? Where is the effort coming from? Because it's obviously not coming from Dave Hackstall. Nathan McKinnon's not doing jack squat. You're not seeing anything. That's in all aspects of the game, too. That's not just...
Oh, we will get to that. We will get to that.
I have so many thoughts here. Nathan McKinnon's not doing crap. Martin Netjes is not doing crap. You're seeing Cale Makar float pucks, non-competitive shots from the blue line.
When the vibe on your power play is, boy, I hope our best 3 players don't give up a 2-on-1 today... That is so far beyond acceptable that I'm at the end of the rope. There's nothing to do. But
the rope is fraying at both ends at this point. The rope is almost gone.
You have to do something for real. Do something serious now. I'm generally one of the most patient people with these types of things. Of okay, let's give them time to figure it out. Let's see if they can try different things and do some. It's game 52.
This is the same problem we were talking about through the first 10-game segment of this is where you see the issues that need to be fixed. And this is arguably the only issue that really still matters that exists. The time to change this, or at least start to address it more seriously, game 15, game 20. This should not be an issue 50 plus games into the freaking season.
Yep. We spent 40 games saying, hey, this power play is a problem that's going to lose you games. And then your power play started losing you games.
So where's the line? It genuinely
5 games back.
What is it because genuinely I can sit here and say the line would be, going a negative, 3 or whatever on your special teams. Because I'm still, I have my feelings about the penalty kill, too. That really sucks. Yeah. You expect if your power play is crap, that your penalty kill can pick up some of that slack. This is what was the best penalty kill in the league is now horrible.
Not top 3 anymore, I don't
think. Not great at all.
Yeah.
But you expect some of that slack to be picked up if the power play is not going to perform. That doesn't even do its job either tonight.
Yep.
So I genuinely don't know where the line is for this team and saying at what point do you sit there and say, like, something has to change? Nathan MacKinnon, do something. Dave Haxtell obviously has lost the edge.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say there was even an edge to begin with.
Probably not. I don't. At the end of the day, the power play is not doing its job. And someone has to be responsible for that. Whether that's your power play coach hasn't got them to where they needed to be, or whether that's your best players haven't done the job. And I'm not, obviously I'm not saying like, oh, you should trade the guys, because no, Nathan MacKinnon is still the best player in the world. He's had 2 games where he has not cared, but he will go back to being the best player in the world, if not very soon, the second the Olympic break is over.
Yep.
That is not a concern for me. What is a concern for me is one of the best players in the world clearly is not capable of making it work on the power play. And so you have 2 functional choices with him. Take him off the power play entirely because he's not capable, or send him a message to figure it out. Because we've seen Avs power plays with Nathan MacKinnon on them operate at a 25% plus clip. Mm-hmm. It can happen. It's not happening this year. For me, it really starts with benching the top unit for a game. Yes, there can be some adverse reactions from taking your best players and saying, sit down. They're not going to be happy with that. Mm-hmm. Guess what? No one's been happy with you on the power play for all year. Balance the scales a little bit.
Yep.
And a little bit of unhappiness is maybe good in the sense of you should be unhappy because your power play is not good enough. No. You aren't doing the things you need to do to make the power play good enough.
Nope. I have no other feelings.
Yep.
Like that is just kind of where I am at.
Yeah.
With this. It's like something, the most that I can say right now is something has to change.
Yeah. Something actually has to change. That's
they
where
have
I'm
to,
at.
like, again, the effort does not just come on the ice. Mm-hmm. Like, something has to be done off the ice. We are past the point of power play roundtable meetings. We are past the point of we practice this every morning skater. We practice this every practice. We are past the point.
What you're doing ain't working.
Yeah. Like, if you've tried everything, obviously you have not, because there's some fix to be had here. There has to be something to do with the amount of talent this team has.
We need to take our first break of the show, so let's shout out a few of our sponsors. The official vehicle of DNVR is Toyota, and they're also the official vehicle of me getting away from Avalanche games as fast as possible at this point. They've got a vehicle for everyone. Trucks have been in their DNA for generations, but they've got SUVs, sedans, and more. 17 models with all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive available, like the Epic 4Runner, so you can make sure you've got the grip on the roads, or if you like to go off-roading, it can take you where you want to go. And they also offer more zero and low-emission vehicles combined than any other automaker. 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from, even hybrid trucks like the Tundra iForce Max, so you can save a little bit of money on your commute no matter where it is. Jump in with Toyota at your local Front Range stores, including AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevens Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Again, Toyota, the official vehicle of the DNVR and the Colorado Avalanche. Toyota, let's go places. And once you've got yourself a Toyota, get yourself where you want to go. Maybe you want to go to an Avs game, which, like, I wouldn't right now, but the next game could be great, and you will have missed it if you don't get with Game Time. Jump in with Game Time's best features, whether it be their last-minute ticket deals, their section selector, or you can just use the Game Time Picks feature for searching for what tickets you want, and Game Time will filter out all of the junk and only show you the best tickets for the best prices. Doesn't even have to be hockey games. If you don't want to go watch the Avs, go watch the Nuggets. Or you can even use them for concerts and theaters. They've got it covered. If it's a ticketed event, Game Time pretty much has it. So go check them out. You can use the app today and sign up with code DNVR to save $20 off your first purchase. Of course, terms and conditions apply there. But with Game Time, they have it all. You see the total ticket price up front. That includes any fees, so there's no surprises at checkout. Game Time has you covered. Again, remember to use that DNVR code with the Game Time app. You can download it from the link down in the description of the video and get $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365. I see you talking about the last 10 games in the Toyota chat. I really don't think that's the case that they've quit on the last 10 games. I think on the last 2 games, absolutely, 100% quit. The other 10 was a bad stretch of hockey where I do think they were trying. They just didn't play well enough. I want to separate those two things, as this is not a combined 12 games of them not trying. It's the last 2 where they've phoned it in a little bit.
No, I can confidently say, like, yes, you play 500 hockey through the last 10 stretch, and that's some of the worst hockey you've seen from this team. But again, you're looking at a loss. Maybe where you get some effort out of the guys and you see some try up and down the lineup, and there's at least maybe a desire from more than just 2 guys to win a game. And then there's the last 2 games where, as you mentioned, best, like, you phone it in. Like that is quite literally what this has been. Maybe 2 guys, maybe, have, shown something in each of the
not
2
nearly
games.
enough guys.
No. As we mentioned with the game last night, if Parker Kelly is your best guy on the team, something is wrong. Same situation here. If Yoel Kiviranta or a Ross Colton are your best players tonight, like,
something's wrong.
Something is wrong there. Like, that can't be how you win hockey games.
Yeah, dude, if you get 100 likes, we will absolutely do hater shots.
Guys,
for
I
sure.
have not taken a shot since before the 7-game homestand. If we could get one, that'd be great.
We have winner shots and hater shots, all right? No loser shots around here. These are hater shots.
Oh, God.
The play that encapsulates these last 2 games in a nutshell for me comes in the 3rd period of this game. And it comes from your best player on the season in Nathan MacKinnon. You just scored a goal a few minutes ago to get within 2. Is it still extremely unlikely for you to win this game? Yes, but you have a little bit of energy. You're trying to get yourself properly back in it. Your top line comes over the boards, gets you into the O zone for what should be a good opportunity. Marty Necas overpasses, loses the puck. Brent Burns fires a puck into a defenseman, and the puck skitters out of the zone. During all of this, Nathan MacKinnon is standing flat-footed, high in the zone, watching the puck fly out of the zone as a player on Montreal skates right past him for a clean 2-on-1 the other way as Nathan MacKinnon watches the game end from the opposite side of the ice because he's standing perfectly still.
And there's multiple plays that break down that way throughout the entire game. I remember looking during the first period. He's just watching a puck along the boards. He's watching his other teammate go after a puck. There's another play where it's sitting there coasting and he's stepping. There's no, you look at a Nathan MacKinnon as one of the fastest players in the league. Like, there is a reason that Ball Arena gets insanely loud when this man gets a hold of the puck and starts racing toward the offensive zone because he has the speed to beat players. Maybe he's not playing the greatest defense in the world, but he's at least not puck watching.
At least give me back the Nathan MacKinnon who, when he screws it up, he bangs his stick or breaks something.
Where is Mad Kinnon?
Just looks completely apathetic in those moments right now.
No, I can't. Like, if you're talking about a no effort performance, there was maybe one situation that I liked from Nathan MacKinnon. You see it for like 5 seconds, if that, and he takes a shot. And I remember saying during the watch along, I'm like, "Is he back? Are we back?
Been?
Like, where has that been for the last like 40 minutes of hockey?" And then it disappeared again.
And you just can't have that from your best players.
No,
you cannot. Part of what makes Nathan MacKinnon so special is he can have 2 bad periods and then turn into an absolute monster in the 3rd. Instead, for the past couple of games, we've watched him shut it down even harder in the 3rd period. Can't live with that. Has to be better.
I think what's really disappointing for me, too, is the version of Nathan MacKinnon we've seen this season. Obviously, it is phoned in right now. But the version of him we have seen through most of this season. This is a player that we were talking about having more multi-point games than 0-point games. Like, even 1-point games.
Those scales are quickly balancing.
Right. And in those situations as well, You look at Nathan MacKinnon, look at the score sheet, and he's leading the charge in shots on goal.
Yep.
For like, and it's not by little margins either. Like he's sitting there tallying usually, 5+ a night. He had 2 tonight. Now, silver lining here. Martin Necas and Nathan MacKinnon did not total for 1 shot on goal tonight. I believe they had 9. Am I doing that math correctly?
Maybe.
Yes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 shots across your entire top line, including Arturi Lehkonen. Arturi Lehkonen tied I believe it was Sam Malinsky for the most shots on goal tonight with 4.
Yeah. Okay. Look, at least you didn't go with Victor Olofsson on the top line again all night.
So like that, silver linings here. I'm trying to find the good things.
I'm glad you are, because all I see is gray right now.
But like that, like, so at least you're getting more. I will say, I think I liked Martin Necas a little better this game than I did last game, and that's not saying much. Like the passes are still egregiously bad. Yeah, they're really bad. I see maybe a little more movement, a little like you're trying to transition a little bit more. You're trying to dipsy doodle around guys, and I can appreciate some of that, especially when the bar was on it, like lower than the ground in Ottawa. Like so, like there's that silver lining for me as well, but. And when you are not getting on the score sheet, your top guys are not getting on the score sheet, and you're relying on Brock Nelson, Yoel Kiviranta, and Ross Colton to score your goals for you.
2 of those 3 goals are ultimately pretty meaningless, but 3 of your 4 forward lines got on the board. And the one that didn't is your top guys.
Yep.
That's the only line you expect to score every night. And they didn't get on the board again.
We're also talking, too, about a Martin Necas who earned a heck of a pay raise.
Yeah.
Starting next season, too.
That did not look like
where is the Martin Necas that started this season out? Like, I know he's known for being a streaky guy. But, like, when you're sitting there making that much money... getting ready to start an 8-year deal. That's unacceptable. Nathan
MacKinnon, these last 2 games, is a pure effort thing for me. Marty Necas, it's more about doing the details, right? Marty Necas has always been a pass-first player. He's always going to be a pass-first player. I know he's trying to make cute plays, trying to do quality stuff with those passes, and that's fine. When everything is working, when your team is gelling and you're pulling off the Globetrotter stuff, fine. When you are 15 minutes into the first period and you've made 3 passes that are off by more than 5 feet, you need to take a breath. You need to have a moment and say, what I'm doing is not only not working, it's not even close.
Yeah. There's going back to simple hockey. They're simplifying your game. And then there's maybe you need an elementary hockey class. Like that is the point that I'm at with some of these Martin Necas mistakes.
Yep.
So
it's basic stuff.
Yeah, it really, you learn a lot of these things early on in your playing career. And I'm wondering why, and obviously it is not just on them, right? Like there's a lot more than just the top line doing the bad things badly.
There is not a single defender on the Avs had a good game tonight, I would say.
Yeah. So, it's not just on a Martin Necas, but also, again, you have a Jared Bednar at the beginning of the season say, they're having really bad games, but at least they're getting on the score sheet. That's what superstars are supposed to do.
Well, score sheet go bye-bye last 2 games. So
I mean, I feel like it's been more than that for a lot of these guys, too. I mean, you look at a Nathan MacKinnon he's getting a couple assists here and there before these last 2 games, and you're still saying, all right, you know, he hasn't looked like himself, but at least there's some sort of production there. Where has Martin Necas been?
Slightly. He's only halfway to Italy. McKinnon's already fully in Italy.
Yeah.
Necas is just on the plane.
Yeah. Yep. I do wonder, too, when, because obviously if they want to look ahead to the Olympic break, so can I.
Yeah.
What does a Team Canada look like with a Nathan MacKinnon playing like this? Yes, you're going to have a Sidney Crosby on his team. You're going to have a Connor McDavid on his team. Is that what it's going to take to get Nathan MacKinnon back?
Yes.
Is putting him with his best friend?
I would bet my entire mortgage that Nathan MacKinnon looks nothing like this in the Olympics.
And that's what hurts.
And to follow this up, I would bet my entire mortgage that Nathan MacKinnon looks nothing like this when the playoffs come around too. This is why I'm less worried about it big picture. If the Avs play like this in the playoffs, they get swept in the first round.
Yeah.
Simple. We don't have to argue that. Do we actually think the Avs are going to play like this in the playoffs? I don't.
Yeah.
I think we know they're a better team. I think they know they're a better team. And I think they are at least willing to acknowledge that they are not giving it 100% right now.
No, absolutely. And I hope that the first step to admitting that you have a problem, or the first step to realizing you have a problem, is admitting that the problem exists.
Yep, exactly.
So, that's where I hope this Avs mindset is at. Now, whether or not it's a problem...
Yeah, I think that's where their mindset will be when they get to the break.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about these last couple of games, but we'll see.
So, even if, right, like, there is no way anybody on this team is looking at the last 120 minutes of hockey saying, like, at least we tried.
No.
Right? At least there was some sort of, effort from guys that are not Parker Kelly, Ross Colton, and Yoel Kiviranta. Like, at least that's there, right? I have to, in order to stay sane. Like, that is where my mind has to be at. Is there's some level of acknowledgement here.
I do want to get into one of those things, but we need to take our second break of the show first. So let's all take a breath and shout out some sponsors. The presenting sponsor of this show is Bet365. And make sure you're getting in with them to get $200 in bonus bets when you sign up with code DNVR365 and put $10 in your account. Bet $5 on anything. Win or lose that $5 bet, you'll get the $200 in bonus bets. They're an official partner of the Colorado Avalanche. Maybe these days, if it looks like Nathan MacKinnon isn't trying, you should bet against the Avs. Seems like a pretty easy to bet after the last two games. They also offer early payout offers. So had you bet against the Avs tonight, you would have got paid out early. Anytime the team you bet on goes up by 3, you get paid out immediately. So there's other great opportunities as well, whether it be boosted bets or parlays or otherwise through Bet365. But make sure you bet those $5 with a DNVR365 code and get your $200 in bonus bets to use. Jump in with them. They're available pretty much everywhere on the Bet365 website. When you do gamble with Bet365, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. Once you've won a little bit of money with Bet365, go get yourself over to Taco Bell and get yourself a quesarito. Or, any other meal. I'm a big potato and cheese burrito guy, but the quesarito's one of the best options you can find when it comes to the Taco Bell menu. Obviously, there's the connection with Jokic there, who even he's tried it and likes the quesarito now. So you can get it with the spicy volcano sauce, which they've also brought back if you're into the spicy stuff. They have tons of other options too. You can get in on their crispy chicken menu over at Taco Bell, whether it's a taco burrito strips or Taco Bell's crispy chicken. It delivers every single time. And with the Super Bowl on the way, you can also make sure you're getting in on the Taco Bell deals with the crispy chicken game day pack featuring chicken strips, soft tacos, and Taco Bell's amazing nacho fries. This is definitely a winning combination. Live Moss at Taco Bell. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365. And the one actual positive that I'm, even as doomer as I am today, that I'm actually taking out of this game is Ross Colton scored a goal.
Yep.
You have to take that. And Ross Colton, as an individual, has to build on that and say, monkey's off my back. I can put the puck in the back of the net. I'm no longer cursed. This needs to be a key factor for the Avs' depth scoring.
When you're looking at a guy like Ross Colton, who's been on this roster for as long as he has, and has learned the system, has been able to find his role.
Yep.
There is no excuse to go 25 games. Was it 25, 26?
20,
without.
I think this was 26 or 25.
Yeah, 25 games without a goal.
Yep.
His last goal was against the San Jose Sharks in November.
His first goal of the year, technically.
That is not something you want out of praised depth. From Jared Bednar, this has been the one thing that he has said, our depth is something I am really, really proud of. That's not an issue that we need to worry about come the trade deadline. I'm pleased with this. And Ross Colton, you would think, has to spearhead more than what he has.
Yep.
And toward the end of the homestand, you see him start to get a little bit frustrated with some of that.
Yeah.
Which I can appreciate. You're seeing him put on grade A opportunities. You're seeing him put in more effort than just the mechanical things that he's doing right off of the score sheet. You're seeing him finally start to get frustrated that some of that production is not coming for him, and I respect that. I appreciate the hell out of that. But also, there is no excuse for it to come then. That frustration needs to start a little earlier, given where the expectations are for some of this depth on this team.
If he's getting to 10 games without a goal, it should be boiling over, not 25.
Yeah.
And a comparison I want to be clear. I understand Ross Colton does a lot of good things beyond just producing points for the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
It's a more complicated conversation than that. But Victor Olofsson, who's been getting a ton of hate lately, and understandably, he's not a top-line player. He probably shouldn't have been there. He's not super effective there. Victor Olofsson has 24 points this season. He makes less than $2 million.
Yeah.
Ross Colton just scored his 21st point with that goal of this season and makes $4 million.
Yeah.
Now, I understand Colton missed a couple games, sure, but their production shouldn't be similar. Ross Colton should be definitively the more productive player of the two, and he's not.
Should be.
Yeah.
That's the key phrase there is should be. I don't, unless you see that start to build, I don't understand how there is still a held place for him on this roster.
It becomes difficult at a certain point.
It really does, which, again, as we both have mentioned, he does a lot of really good things off of the score sheet. And you talk about his role on a team. He's a gritty guy. He is a pest on the ice. And you finally saw that come out. Part of the way through this game. See him to get into a bit of a scrum on the boards. And you see that start to come out a little bit. Not that the Avs do much to build off of it, but you see that start to come out, and that's what you need from a Ross Colton, is at least attempting to cause situations like that, be that sort of spark plug, get some of that momentum, or try to do little things like that to get the momentum for your team. And it's just not coming.
It's not. It's not enough.
You need to see an upward trend from this. This needs to be, okay, Ross, you finally scored. This is your new baseline.
Yep.
Go.
And this is, again, purely as an individual season that Ross is having. The expectation is not, hey, Ross, all of our top players suck. You got to win the game for us. That's not realistic.
No.
But Ross as an individual needs to find that consistency in his production. Unfortunately, a 3-week break is coming up, but maybe some of this gives him confidence going forward this season.
Yeah. So, and maybe a break is exactly what he needs too. We talked a little bit about, that 100% effort from a guy like Ross Colton after playing what looked to be playing injured before he was actually taken out of the lineup. Maybe this break is exactly what he needs to fully reset, fully rehab, make sure he's at 100%. So there are no excuses once the break ends and he comes back and that trend can continue. That's my hope here. For a guy like Ross Colton.
You would hope every player on the Avs that's not going to the Olympics comes back from the break 100%, basically.
Yeah. I highlight a guy like a Ross Colton who, again, you need something like that from him. I feel like for Ross, he is a huge confidence guy.
Definitely.
More so than a lot of guys. Yes, you'll see some frustration. But Ross Colton is one of those guys that he needs.
When it's high, it's real high.
Right.
When it's low, it's real low.
Yeah. So you go through those 25 game stretches without anything, and that hurts a guy's pride, I imagine, especially a guy like Ross Colton. So I have to imagine this has to be kind of a boost to his character. And you saw how excited he was after that goal.
Yeah, of course. He was pumped.
Yeah, being able to get back on the score sheet, it's fun. Scoring goals is fun. Not everybody on the team realized that tonight. But Ross Colton being able to do that, that's awesome for a guy like him. And so, again, you hope that, with however he utilizes this Olympic break, there's something to be said about getting back to 100% and building off of what he was able to do tonight.
And I want to get into the tiredness factor or whatever you want to call it. Small scale tiredness, definitely a factor. This was a back-to-back game. Realistically, the Avs were probably going to have a hard time keeping up with their legs for the whole game, but probably shouldn't have had as hard a time in the first period when, you had legs. But not the point I'm trying to make. Just saying that small scale, there could be a tiredness factor. Yeah. Large scale, the Avs are one of the teams that have played the least amount of games in the NHL. There are teams that have played 55 games, 54 games, 53 games. A lot of those teams are going to play tomorrow when the Avs have the day off. The Avs have only played 52. There's only one team in the NHL that have played less games than the Avs, and that's the Sharks, who have played 51. So there is not a schedule where the Avs should be significantly more tired than the other teams. If anything, if you're putting any factor into it, the Avs should be more rested than some of the other teams in the NHL across the entirety of the season so far.
And maybe that's where I'm looking at what has history had to say about this? And I look at the games that they've played after 2 and 3 day breaks recently, and I'm like, maybe that's the kind of schedule they need to stick with it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as much as I would prefer, a well-rested team playing like a well-rested team, playing without rust, being able to utilize that to its fullest effect. That's just not the case with the Avs. You're not going to get that. So maybe this is the kind of situation that they need to sit there and say, like, hey, playoffs is not going to be easy. If you're looking at making a full push like they were at the beginning of the season, going into this season hungry, going into this season pissed off with how things ended last season, it's not going to be a short road to get there. It is if you play like this, but it's not going to, if you continue to play or at least try to find some of that passion you had for the first half of the season, it's not going to be an easy road.
No.
Maybe that is what they need in
sure.
Getting there. Like they need the every other day or 3 and 4 type schedule to sit there and say, like, we are, like, this is what we need to stay motivated. This is what we need to play decent hockey. And if that's what you're going to get, great.
Look,
but
I said this on yesterday's show too, essentially, but if you're going to FA and FO, better to do that in January than in April.
Yep.
It's a game that has an unacceptable effort in late January is I get to be mad on the postgame show for an hour, and then I get to forget about it. If this happens in April, the entire Avsosphere is going to have a justifiable meltdown.
Yep.
And the Avs are going to deserve the hate they get.
Yep.
So, okay. You've learned the lesson of what this looks like. What happens when you don't put the effort in. Now you get to spend the rest of the season trying to figure out ways to not let it happen again.
Yeah. I can't imagine. And that's... And I guess the thing I'm trying to go and do with a positive outlook and saying, like, if they play like this in March... Like those are points they can't afford to drop if they're looking to keep any sort of significant lead.
Yeah.
Right now. Because ideally, statistically, right?
Of course.
Is where Minnesota is playing at right now, where Dallas is playing at right now, is not going to happen forever. That is not going to last forever.
They will turn it around too.
Pick it back up. And at that point, you need to learn to pick it back up as well, or else this lead that we've been, parading around and praising and, sitting on and say what you want about, oh, you're the best team in the league, you don't deserve to complain about this. That's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
If this continues.
Yeah, there are only so many ways you can say both that a team was horrible and that they're better than they showed today. Because I think both of those things are true. But you look at the top of the lineup and you have a problem. You look at the goaltending and you have a problem. You look at the defense and you have a problem.
Yep.
That's 0 for 3.
Yep.
You will not win if you go 0 for 3. You shouldn't win if you go 1 for 3, but hockey's a silly sport and sometimes it happens. Every night you need to be going 2 for 3 at minimum.
Yeah.
And it's been far too much of 0 for 3. I don't know. I guess the Ottawa and Columbus games were the last time we really saw the Avs go 3 for 3. The Toronto game, frankly, felt more like Toronto sucks, and the Avs were particularly good in that game. This is not a hard fix. Again, you just simply have to do hockey. I really do think it boils down to that much. But I look at the defense and I wonder what else needs to be done there, because you can go up and down the lineup. Part of the issues in this game are Cale Makar giving up defensive problems. Yeah, he's not getting a lot of help, but that's a problem. Josh Manson leaves a guy untouched in front of your net on their power play.
Yep.
Brent Burns does Brent Burns things. Keaton Middleton, I don't even need to say anything about. Sam Malinsky is what it is. He's a good hockey player, but he's not a top-line defenseman. Like, unfortunately, you're stuck in the spot where you have to play him there. You're not going to get greatness. Sam Girard. Bad stretch of hockey for him.
Really bad. Really, really, really bad.
So that's 6 out of 6. At least with the forward core, we can say, well, your depth guys were okay. Your depth guys were trying.
The only guy who really has an excuse here to suck is a Keaton Middleton.
Yeah.
Can I
I think that's fair.
Like,
yeah.
Can I say that validly? Because we saw the experiment last season.
Yep.
It didn't work for a reason.
Yep.
You call him up to do things that he waited until the last, 10 minutes of the hockey game to do?
Keaton.
Like, that experiment, that's just proving that that's over.
Yep.
He is the only guy who gets a pass here.
Yeah. And he gets a pass because that blame falls on the coaching staff in the front office instead of on him.
Yeah. So, Malinsky has to be better. You just earned yourself a shiny new contract to stick around and
2
find
games
yourself
in a row
role.
Not so good.
Right. So, and Sam Girard, I mean, if he wants a considerable role on this team, like he has had, he's earned that trust from Jared Bednar the last couple seasons. It's looked like crap the last couple.
I think he's a bottom pairing defenseman when Toews comes back at this point.
He has to be.
Like, you're gonna
if he's not gone. If he is not gone at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that depends on when Toews comes back. Then maybe, but maybe. Definitely an option.
Yeah. So that's as far as your blue line goes. Like there is no excuse from a lot of these guys to perform the way that they have.
Simply has to be better. Devon Toews is a great player. Devon Toews is great defensively.
Yep.
Your entire defense cannot collapse because one guy is not in your lineup. You expect some road bumps. You expect some trials and tribulations. You don't expect complete disaster from the entire defense multiple nights in a row. There's a scale there where you have to find functional hockey. And the Avs defense is not finding that right now.
Yeah. So that's where I look at, situations like a Solovyov and even seeing, you're not getting good, reliable hockey out of a Keaton Middleton. You're maybe getting something out of a Jack Ashan, but right now, to me, this Solovyov deal makes even less sense because at least he... you're not going to get reliable hockey out of him either, but at least there was something substantial in the last couple that he played.
He played a couple good games. I think you guys are fairy tailing what Solovyov was.
No, I'm not saying
team.
like he's anything to call home about, but at least there's that's one. I don't know. I don't know if it makes me feel any better saying that's one less guy you can give an excuse to, but at the same time, it's a guy who at least somewhat knows the system. You don't have to try the Keaton Middleton experiment.
You didn't have to anyway. You could have just kept playing Jack Ashan.
You could have, but that's...
Jack Ashan's been up and down too. I'm not going to pretend like he's been unbelievably good, but better than Solovyov was. And I think the real question is, when do you go get a guy?
Yeah.
You have 1 week until the break. During the break is a roster freeze. You can still talk, but you can't actually make a move during the break. And then you have a little over a week on the other side, and it's the trade deadline. If you're going to move Solovyov, what's stopping you from going out and getting another D right now? Why haven't you done it?
Yeah. That's where I'm kind of I look at this stretch of hockey and I'm like, is this, this is obviously not the version of the team we know and love, right?
Yep.
But how much of this makes our points of making a deal before the roster freeze like even more valid. Like how much of that contributes to those talks, like being like they need to make a new move now versus waiting after the freeze to make some of those moves.
Yeah, again, the hypocrisy of sports, right?
Right.
Are they fine if they get to the break? I think even if they lose out to the break, they will still be the leading NHL team, regardless of what other teams do. So are they fine? Yes. But watching the last handful of games, everyone knows you need to go get a D. Like, and I don't know the market. Maybe nothing worth doing is materialized, and the Avs are saying we're going to wait and see how the market settles. Totally understandable. But it sure feels like if something was available, boy, you'd like the Avs to be on it.
Yeah. And that's where I do appreciate like some of these talks coming out about certain guys around the league, the Avs being involved in everything. I think it's a little less heartening, or it takes a little bit of the wind out of my sails when I see them involved in guys that really are not going to do anything
solve any problems
to boost the problems that they have currently.
Yeah. So, Artemi Panarin, I don't think does anything for this team.
No.
I mean, does he make them better at wing? Yes. Okay.
But
the Avs are already
position that's already log jammed.
Right.
So like, what does that do? And that's the double-edged sword for me. So ultimately, if they don't make a break before the break, if they don't make a trade before the break, I have to hope that these talks intensify.
I'm sure they will.
That has to be the case. Otherwise, I wonder where the hunger is. I wonder, because that hunger has to trickle down. It can't just exist within the team. Like that has to come from the hunger that the team has to stem belief in the front office, and that has to be reciprocated. Like, we're hungry, we want to go win a cup, give us the pieces to do that.
It is very, very clear that the Avs need a left-handed D and a 3C. I don't think there's no muddling that conversation. The Avs have to go out and do those things. Again, ultimately, it doesn't matter if they do it tomorrow or if they do it on trade deadline day. But if you're trying to help yourself now, they could do it. Yeah. No one's stopping you from doing it. Now, if the price today is a first-round pick and your best prospect, and the price on trade deadline day is a third-round pick and a B-grade prospect, well, maybe it was worth waiting then.
Yeah.
But
ultimately, that is where this no-effort hockey kind of pisses me off even more. Because, we really can't see the full potential of, if you're getting a team that's putting in the full effort before the break, this gives you more leeway to work with and saying, okay, these are the true areas that, maybe we need to be digging a little deeper in. Ultimately, I don't know as though I can sit there and say there's nothing, you need to improve everywhere if that's the kind of game that you're getting out of the Avalanche. There's no one thing for me to pick out versus if you're getting a 100% effort, 60-minute effort from these guys, being able to point that out.
I mean, a trade can be a message, too. And I'm not saying you make a trade to do this. You make a trade to get better. But if you make a trade tomorrow and it involves one of your roster players, Big E used to say this type of thing all the time. Sometimes you make a trade like that and you have to go to your locker room and you have to tell them, that guy's gone because you guys haven't been good enough. And we had to go get someone to help you guys be better. So step it up right now, or more of you are going to go.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it can't all be cushy happy all the time. And I'm a millennial. I hate coaches that yell and scream at me. I'll do worse when they do that.
Yeah.
But accountability has to exist. And you have to be honest about how you're playing as a team. And right now you're playing like garbage.
Yeah. Full stop.
Yep. So that's all. Be honest about it. Do better next time. Everything will go back to normal.
We get angry about this, but this all goes away if you go to Detroit and actually look like a decent hockey team.
Yeah. You go to Detroit and win. If you win at home against Detroit, I forget who their last game is against before the break, the Sharks or something. I don't know. If you go 3-0 into the break, everyone will forget about the bad stretch real quick.
Yep.
Not that complicated. It was the Sharks. Let's go. Sometimes I guess right. By the way, February 2nd, takeover game. I'm just saying, I'm not a superstitious guy. The Avs record on takeovers is like outrageously good. They almost never lose when the DNVR takeover comes into Ball Arena. So
that's the turning point. So I hope it doesn't take getting back home to
yeah,
find
me
the
too.
turning point.
Me too.
But if that's, if we can count on that being a good game before the break, I will be
a little
not as happy as can be, but I'll be happy.
Little birdie told me there's less than 5 tickets left for that takeover. So if you want to come, you might be grabbing the very last tickets we have on that one.
I would love to see all of you there. So
yeah, me too.
That would be fun.
And if it's this bad, we can all yell and scream about it together.
Yeah, no, see, that's the beauty of doing things together, is if it's great, you can celebrate. If not, I don't have to rant alone. Or ranting is more fun when you can do it with a few different people.
Exactly.
So that's the beauty of it.
Whoo, all right, I'm running out of gas. We're getting down to the end of this show, but really, it's funny because on the one hand, I'm actually actively calling for maybe they should fire their power play coach because understandably it's been bad for 3 months.
Yep.
I still don't think you should be anywhere near firing Jared Bednar because in spite of the bad power play, in spite of the poor efforts we've seen of late from the Avs, you have 79 points in January. You are the top team in the NHL by 9 points with games in hand.
Yep.
You are not a team that is in trouble by any stretch of the imagination. You are a team that is frustrating the hell out of me and most of the fan base and probably themselves. But you've given yourself the cushion that you get to get away with this.
Now you need to go and be a team that makes those games in hand mean something.
Yep.
That is the biggest key here. Is those games in hand mean nothing if you're putting on zero effort performances like tonight. So
correct.
That can't be the case, especially again given the monster that is March and April heading into the playoffs. That schedule is not getting any easier on you. So, and again, as I mentioned, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's what they need to sit there and just stay fully in gear. But you're not making your lives any easier with the schedule coming up. So take advantage of the games that you have before a big break and make them mean something.
I hope so. I can't do this show again. 3 times in a row is too many.
Yeah. I probably could, but it's going to be a lot of repeating myself. I will say it's very cathartic. Yelling into a microphone, but
we're busting out the comedy sketch if they do this again. All right, we're going full meme if that happens.
I'll bring my clown wig just in case. We'll throw that on and do a pod. Maybe instead of our cold open is 30 seconds,
even longer.
Progressively gets longer. I would be okay with that.
We do have one super chat to get to from Connor here, who says, took my girl to her first Avs game last night and tonight my 7th.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Hey, look.
Oh, no.
The hockey might not have been good, but that just means you got to pay more attention to your girl, right? Like,
this is bonding.
Silver lining.
This is bonding time for you guys. You get to educate her on all of the good that has happened and give her hope that this is not what she can expect moving forward, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'm so sorry. That is very unfortunate.
Look, no different than going home after the date if you drank too much. And you go, babe, I swear this never happens. All right?
I wish that was the case. Happening 2 times in a row is a little. I swear it doesn't happen more than twice.
Hard to believe after the second time. Yeah,
it doesn't happen more than twice. I swear. Like you'll see a good hockey team eventually. Okay.
All right, I got my dick joke in. We can end the show now.
All right, cool. I'm done.
Thank you to those of you who hung out. I know these losses are tough. Do not blame you if you turn that one off. But we appreciate you. We wouldn't have this community without the fans that are there through thick and thin. You know we're here for every game. So we'll suffer together or we'll enjoy it together. That's all we got. This has been the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.